it's Mark and Cindy on the radio, 10 to 11 a.m. Well, it's Mark and Cindy, they've got a morning show. Every day I listen in. We're gonna talk about what's going on in town. You never know who's gonna come around. On the Mark
Good
and Cindy
morning,
show.
Montgomery County and all surrounding small cities, Houston, but we also go everywhere because we're on the internet.
Yeah.
We go everywhere. You're listening to the Mark and Cindy show, and we have people in Washington listening.
Malaysia?
Yeah.
They're all over.
And we can't
the
get
moon.
They've lost the signal, but
I know,
in
exactly.
Malaysia. But I think there's somebody that's going to pick us up
There is.
and maybe call in and let us know, where is that airline?
Exactly. Hey, Cindy.
What?
You know, the only reason I'm here today,
I know.
I felt like sleeping in, but then I read your Facebook about who and what this, wow, it sounds exciting today. And one thing's exciting besides our wonderful guest here is you're going to tell us about the guy that was swinging the sign at
and I had to put on my Facebook those that live in the Conroe area.
Oh, yeah, they're the only
because
ones.
otherwise other people wouldn't know.
The New Guinea listeners don't know what you're talking about.
No,
now.
and I can't translate that. I may be able to do it in sign language, but anyway, the thing is that we have been going down this street for
this street,
so
105?
105.
Yeah, I was going to
yeah.
say 105. This street at 105 for 5 months now, coming to the show.
Right. It's east
And
of 45.
East of 45, and across from the donut wheel. And
See,
how
now that's
many
all you
plugs can we
needed
get
to
in?
say.
Okay, so next to Angelic Resale. Anyway, so this guy's been standing out there, and he's a sign spinner. If you know what that is, they have a big sign, and they spin it around to get your attention, and it's a cheap way instead of a billboard. But they've got this really cute guy, and I don't think you ever mentioned he was cute. But anyway, he had this guy that I thought was cute.
Golly.
Anyway, he has this big smile on his face, and he has a sign that says "Clinic Open." We don't know why he's smiling. We don't know why he's there every day, but we decide, I decided I got to find
you,
out about
Cindy.
this,
Yeah.
and so
I told Cindy to go ahead.
this is really weird too. I can't even imagine. Richard will love this. I pull in and I pull up near where he is. And
What,
I
so
said,
you're picking up
and I-
this guy?
Well, I don't know what he was thinking, but
Cindy,
I waved
where-
to him and I said, "Could you come here?"
Oh, golly.
So he walks over to the car with his big sign and he says, "Yes." And I said, "Listen, I do a radio show. It's an internet radio show every morning, and we broadcast right out of Conroe down there, and we see you every day, and we've talked about you on our show." He said, "You talked about me?" And I said, "Yes, because you have this big smile on your face, and you're holding up the sign every morning, and it's so early, and we just thought it was really interesting, and I'd like to get to know your name. And where's this clinic that you're holding the sign for?" So he says, "Right there." I said, "What is your name?" He says, "It's Michael." So Mike is the one out there
It tells you
holding the
all
sign,
you-
so everybody can wave it. Well, I looked at the clinic, and I went over and walked into the clinic, and I
Cindy?
found out this is a new clinic that just opened, and it's $35 for an office visit. They have a paranormal. I don't think it's what it's called. The nurses. They're not real. But what are they called? Anyway,
Assistant nurse?
Yeah,
Doctor assistant?
They see you. They have someone like that that sees you. And they have a real doctor there, and they have treatments there. But it's $35.
They have a real doctor there.
It's real doctor.
Is the doctor
real
paranormal?
physician. What is the not
Paralegal.
paralegal, paranormal,
I don't know.
paranurse? I don't know.
He should have
But they have nurses.
$35 on the sign. That would
But
bring
that's what I thought too. I said $35, and so anyway, it is. They're open Monday through Saturday, and they're right there, like across from the donut wheel, and $35. And they want to. Their whole purpose is to allow a community to be able to afford to go to the
great.
doctor.
That's great.
And so it's really exciting,
to plug
and
that.
we will have them on so they can talk about how are
I'll
they doing
tell
this
you
at $35.
that guy was out there when it was 20-something degrees
Yes.
spinning that sign. Plus, he's not out there this morning, Cindy.
Oh, great.
what
Stardom has
happened?
gone to his
He's-
head.
He
I told
knows.
him he's
He
on
had to go to
radio.
the clinic. He had to
Yeah,
go to
he's
the
in
clinic. He got
clinic.
sick.
I hope they
That's
give
where-
him a special deal. Did
No.
you ask how much he gets paid? That's
No,
what
I did not. I
What
did.
does a sign
it may have
spinner
been, like he's getting
He works for tips.
free care, and no,
Yeah, no, you're supposed to tip them. You guys didn't know that you're supposed to
No.
tip sign spinners.
Richard, shut.
tell you this,
Listen, they're
the
listening this
show
morning.
is
They
going
are
up
they're,
after this.
They're
We are.
listening this morning, and I wanted to say hi to them. And
That's great.
No, and
And you
that's-
throw your change at them.
I know. I told when I went to the clinic and I talked to the people there. I said, "It's because of him I'm in here. So it's a good job that you're doing with the spinner thing." And they said, "Okay." So they will probably
said-
be on the show. They They
Yeah, that'd be
look like
great.
a great group, and they're trying to help the community.
Yeah.
So there, I just wanted to let you
did
know about that.
very
It was
well
so
indeed,
exciting.
young lady.
I think everyone's going to that clinic because I have a theory on that road, that right hand lane going down 105 is there's like a 90% chance someone's going to slam on their brakes and take a right into the clinic.
Because that guy.
it's weird.
That
I
in
think you're right,
McDonald's.
and-
Oh, they're
no,
going
that's
to
you.
McDonald's.
Don't even give. No, actually, that even continues the little theory is if they're pulling out of McDonald's, there's a 50% chance they're going to pull into the clinic. It's really weird.
Okay.
Smart. It was a smart place to be there. You know, everything is location, and a science center. So it's really good to have them there and know that we can afford now to go to the doctor. So I wanted to let you know and do a shout out to them. And while I was on that little strip, I went to the place where they serve. They have an creative outreach place that Angelica resell, and then they have a place that help the homeless, and we're going to have the founder and the director of that on next week.
Oh, that's
You
the
just release
Swedish lady.
You just release Cindy to the centers, and she'll just start inviting everybody.
Well,
I
she
invite-
needs to.
yeah, I do.
That's very sweet.
And she thinks she knows where the Malaysian airline is. So anyway, I wanted to make sure she got on the show, and they're doing such good work out there.
Right.
And speaking of good work, our guest that's going to be coming up, Rena Beadle.
Beetle.
Beetle.
I'm sorry.
Beetle.
It's like the
See,
beetle.
I
Like
wanted
a
to say
beetle.
Beetle. I wanted to say Beetle every time I
know.
saw. I said, no, it's got to be something like
You just-
Beetle.
You know
I
what-
thought of everything. And she's going to be coming up.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about some life experiences that I really do believe if you feel like they got through it and that you could get through it too. And be aware that the word God will be invoked many times.
That's in
Okay.
the last segment, right?
So get your children out of the room.
Right.
That's right. These
that's
are
just
words
silly.
that you can't say on commercial TV, but we will be able to say them on
You know,
this radio
speaking
station.
of children, her son's here too, John.
Well, he was
John.
he was the surprise guest, and I was saving him. But thank you, Mark, for letting that out of the bag.
Oh, I'm
So-
sorry. Yeah.
Oh, because the name John
John is-
really gives it away.
John, if you will leave now, we'll
Yeah.
we'll
gonna
call
cha-
you when we're ready.
Well, imagine growing up with John Beadle.
Oh,
wait,
my
are you
word.
John? Are you the Beadle John or John? Who are? If they said his name backwards, Beadle John, please come up to the stage and receive your. So you never know. That's good. That's a good name
We've
to have.
got guests coming, and tomorrow we got Don Hampton. We got two great guests, and then we've got
Deb Norwinski will be. I'll be talking to her
Deb
over the
Nowinski.
phone, and
It's like
because
your show's getting better.
well, it's getting more full because we're tired of listening to you
getting
talk,
different.
Richard. So we got to have more people on here
Oh,
to
he's
talk
not
to
looking
us.
at me. He's not looking. I was
No,
smiling at him.
I was-
All right.
Who are you waving to, Mark? But
Hey.
people are still coming from far around to look at our poster. It's just amazing that
Yeah,
we
but
have
the
banner that we have up on
Coffee
the.
House didn't want our poster. What was that all about?
Well, I walked in with usually you get a was it 8x10 poster they let you put up
Yeah.
for something that's going on. I think ours was 48 inches by
Oh,
or no 80.
that's
What
different.
was it? It was just too huge. She said
Yeah.
no, she wouldn't do it unless I put it in a frame and she could put it on the wall. But I did take our guest over to Conroe Coffee, and I do want to plug that. And
Yeah,
and Leo
Leo's
was
over
so
there.
sweet.
Yeah, she's
such
sweet.
good coffee, and she spoke with an accent, and that impressed them.
Yeah.
So that I think that was worth it.
You ask her
You know-
how's it like being a drug dealer in downtown Conroe.
She is. You mean dispensing the caffeine?
Oh
machine?
yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
I see the same people there every morning, right on cue, because I'm one of them. And
You can't help it.
can't
Just-
help it. Mark,
no.
what do I do?
Look,
Hey, Cindy.
What?
In just a little bit, Rena's going to tell us some stuff.
oh no,
and
you don't
it's-
have your Reader's Digest out. Do
No,
you?
no, I don't. This is.
I'm so afraid.
This
Wait, no.
is. I don't know what life's like for you now. Things could be really bad for
We're
you.
gonna find out,
They
yeah.
could be worse because I was reading this. It's from Angie's List, and they have the list of people you need to call on for contract work and all. And this leads right into it doesn't. I'm lying. What Rena's going to talk about. But listen to this. And they tell you the good stuff and the bad stuff about contractors. I hired, and he names the outfit in Houston. Maybe I shouldn't say. Well, Dick will get sued, not us. But to restore hardware flooring, paint the interior landscape, and lay carpet in the bedrooms of a rental. He said the work would be done within 1 week. It wasn't, and he didn't pay his subcontractor. He hired a painter who was homeless and stayed in my house without permission. The wood floors looked terrible. The landscaping was half finished, and there was no carpet in the house. Whenever I ask when he'll finish, he always says, tomorrow. I had to hire other contractors to finish and fix his work. I want a refund of $1,833. And the status is They haven't done anything yet. So it could be worse. Be careful
No,
when
wait.
you hire these contractors.
And that came from Craigslist?
No.
Or
Angie's List.
See, I don't think anything bad would ever happen from Angie's because she
Well,
looks so sweet.
She is a doll. Don't get me wrong.
I
Yeah,
just believe
that's
that she
Angie
would never
Dickinson.
let anything bad happen. That she would come to that house
Yeah.
and get after him.
Well, that's the whole deal. They are an honest outfit, and they will tell you, yeah, this person, he's probably not on the list anymore, but
Right,
if
right.
they want you, please tell us exactly. We've used him is why I'm asking.
Oh, you have? Oh, okay.
Why I'm asking. I'm not asking. Telling you all of this. Angie's List.
See, Angie's List, be careful.
Exactly. Well, no. Read the reviews. This man may
Right.
not have had any reviews or anything, but that's it. Let's face it. When you need a car worked on or a home, who do you call? And don't say it.
I won't.
Okay. Anyway, you don't know who
Do
to.
you think I was going to say Ghostbusters?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I just want to make sure.
Al, that's Jill would have said it regardless. That's my sister. Anyway, but this is a great place to go. It really is. I recommend Angie's List. Costs $12 a year. By the way, we're plugging them. Maybe we can get them to sponsor us.
$12 a year?
Yeah, and like
Oh, I
when they-
didn't
I
you
don't
had to
know.
pay.
It's
I thought it was
$12 a year.
free.
They're not going to be able to sponsor anybody.
No, that's right.
Yes,
yeah,
that's right.
no, they've got thousands, and I'm not just talking Houston area. They got them in Canada, everywhere. Like, oh, I'm moving to North Dakota. I need somebody to roof the house over there.
Yeah.
Angie's List. Here's some reviews about the guy. Oh my gosh, I want this one, and it's valuable stuff.
Cindy would be like, is he cute? Let's
Yeah.
get him over here.
Anyway,
I am not
super.
interested in the
Well,
the
I-
outside. I'm not that shallow how person
Oh, she's
at
not.
all.
What I'm
now, I
interested in
appreciate cuteness. That's okay. I
is
appreciate it.
Rena Beadle and what all she has to say. Because before Cindy talked with you and all, I was completely ignorant of anything related to what we're getting ready to hear, and that's what I like. I like to learn stuff and walk away feeling good
That's
about
right. Well, you're going to
things.
be inspired today because of what Rena has been through and what they came out of, and the great blessings that you actually can have if you allow God to take care of it.
Yeah.
And that's what she's going to talk to us about, especially right now, where people are feeling like. How can you do this to me, God? How can you let me, I don't have any money. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what's going to happen to me. And most people never backtrack to see who actually got them to that point. But they always blame God at the end of it and say, you know what? I think...
You're saying most people, but I've been there. I mean, I've done the thing like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? I wanted that. It didn't happen. God, you must really hate me. And that's one thing that helps me understand people. I'm a judgmental and all. I realize that, but I can. I feel like I can walk in a lot of people's shoes, but I'm very naive about. When you're talking about homeless people and all, I can say, "Oh, let's do that." I can't identify, and I'm so glad, but that's very sad.
I told this lady yesterday when I was talking to her about coming on the show that people want to give. They want to help. They really do. I think most people want to help. I have no idea how to do it. They feel like, I don't know, what can I do, and all. And I don't want to be really closely associated with those people, but I'd like to help them. And I'm so glad there are people that actually do that. And as the music plays, my voice
Joan
will get into
Collins
this
or-
sense, and we will talk about many
Judy
more
Collins.
things.
Judy Collins.
Many more things.
Come on, Mark. Come on.
And
Joan
Send in
Collins
the
works at
Clowns
Sonic.
is perfect for Mark and Cindy's show to go out on. But we will be back
We'll be
after
back,
these
yeah.
messages. Don't go away. Rena Beadle will be with us in just a moment.
Here at last on the ground, you admitted. Send in the clouds.
Our community's animal shelters cannot absorb accidental litters of kittens and puppies. Approximately 80% of the animals entering our shelters will not make it out alive. Please help be a part of the solution. Please spay and neuter your pets. Many low-cost options are available. Visit texaslittercontrol.org to learn more. That's texaslittercontrol.org. And remember, real Texans don't litter. Please spay and neuter your pets.
Tune in at 3 o'clock every Wednesday for Aperture and Shutter Speed with me, Tom Moore of TR Moore Photos.
And me, Dick.
If you are an amateur or expert, or if you haven't ever picked up an SLR camera before, Aperture and Shutter Speed is a show for anyone who loves photography and film.
Join the conversation with us by calling in or emailing us your questions. If you want to know what's coming up on Aperture and Shutter Speed, just look up our show page on irlonestar.com or look us up on Facebook.
Join us every Wednesday at 3 p.m. for Aperture and Shutter Speed, and remember,
Take your lens cap off.
Did you know there are over 800 abused children in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Susan, a volunteer with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. April is Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month. Casa Child Advocates trains and supports volunteers to be the voice of children who have been removed from their home because of abuse or neglect. We need volunteers just like you to speak up for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com or call 936-441-5437.
Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps tearing round.
Good morning, everybody. You're back on the Mark and Cindy show, and we have a really special guest this morning. Yes, we do. We have two, actually, but we're going to have them one at a time because it's just too powerful to have everybody all at one time, and they talk over each other and all that. You know how family members do. Rena Beadle and her son, John. Rena Beadle and her son, John, are going to be
Hootie and the
on this
Blowfish.
morning.
That's how that name goes.
And we're so excited to have you with us, and thank you for being here and weathering the storm and the traffic that we have here on Main Street. But Rena Beadle has a very interesting background. They have a book that the family wrote. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you said it's a family book because did John have part in writing this?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Cindy.
And you have another son as well?
David.
David. Okay. So you have two
Absolutely.
sons.
Right.
Okay. David and
Actually,
John.
we have 5, but
Yep. What? Oh, that's right. You have 5. That's right. You have 5 children, and they're all boys.
yes, they are.
Good grief!
I know.
She was
Oh,
going
my
for
word.
a basketball team, so that's good.
5 sons. Good. When did you get married?
In 1985.
In 1985. And so is John youngest or oldest?
He's the oldest.
He's the oldest. Okay.
Yes.
So what the youngest is
He's 14.
Hijo guy. So you're
Yes.
still in that. You're
Yes.
still in that mode of having.
Absolutely.
But I'm sure John, whips up on him if he that gives you trouble, right? He's
He
there for
does.
you. Okay, there you go. That's
He
good.
does.
Your son, your husband's name is Leo.
Leo.
Like,
Yes.
isn't that funny? We told her your name is Leo, and she said yes. I don't know what that stands for. I can't. Leopold. Does he have a full name like Leopold? It's just Leo.
Just Leo.
Leo the lion. He wrote the book along with the family. Did he write it or did you write it? And
Right. I was the major.
you were the major
writer.
contributor. Okay,
Yes.
but he wrote some of it as
He
well.
did. Because, we went through it as a family.
Okay, that's so cool. And what you went through was a horrible bankruptcy.
It was.
Can I
you
read
ex-
this one part right here? It explains
Okay.
everything, and that way Rena can explain stuff without going into great. It says right here, bankruptcy, home foreclosures, worries, fears, and most importantly, shattered dreams. All these issues are plaguing America today. Take my hand and follow me on our journey of bankruptcy to blessing. Hear from family members as we share how we rose above devastating circumstances to incredible favor. Who would not want to hear this? I want to hear about
because
this.
because you feel like you're having problems or money problems and stuff, and then you have something like this, the bankruptcy that happens. And how did it get to that point? Can you tell me?
Absolutely. Mike shared earlier about how, we get into these situations.
Oh, Mike, that's Mark.
Mark.
It's okay.
We get in
It's
these
all right.
situations.
I call him Mike all the time.
No,
where we say, God, why am I here?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times it is the decisions that we've made along the way. And so we had 4 children, and in 1998 decided to go into business on our own with no startup capital.
There you go.
Hello. And we never really consulted other business entrepreneurs about how to do it. We just said, by faith, we're going to do this thing. And we jumped in extremely naive. And along the way, I also became pregnant unexpectedly with number 5 with no health insurance.
Wait a minute. You had 4 children already, 4 boys, and then You were pregnant.
Right.
And let's go into business. Okay. All right. So there, let's move from
Wasn't
there.
that smart?
I'm one of 7, and 4 of us were mistakes. So,
Oh, good. That related. Thank
yeah,
you.
so
Thank you,
I just
Mark.
wanted to let you know identify. Go
Right,
ahead.
right. We're painting this wonderful
Exactly.
picture, aren't
Yes,
we?
yes.
So great. And so we did. We went into business for ourselves. And then, of course, there was no health insurance. And at the same time, my father was dying of cancer.
Oh, man.
And so all these things were going on. And one morning at 6 a.m., there was a knock on the door. And there was a sheriff.
Oh, my
Someone,
Lord.
yeah.
That's never good.
And my husband began to share at that moment that he had not been paying our house note, our mortgage, for 6 months. And so, of course, it being 6 a.m., I'm just like, are you kidding me? And but the first thing he said after he confessed this was, honey, we're going to do this together. You know, we're going to have to give up the house, but we're going to do this together. We're not going to let this break us apart. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, you know, and so it was a real journey from that
Boy,
point
I
on.
bet.
you
Because
know.
a lot of women have said, huh? Well, you didn't pay it by yourself, so you're going to do this all by yourself. So you were really good. And he knew it. He must have known that he had faith that you would do
before
this.
that happens, letters come in and everything. You were out of the loop on.
You know, I was diapering and
Oh,
sending
gosh,
yeah.
to
yes, I forgot
school
about that.
and just, you know, thinking, what are we doing? But, you know, you can get into a mode where you're just survival.
Right.
And you don't see the details because the details are too frightening. We run
Right.
from that which we fear.
Sure.
And I think, you know, and we were busy. Like I was still helping lead worship in my church and, you know, just very active in ministry and thinking, you know, well, we're active in ministry. We're tithing.
Right.
God's
Yeah.
taking care of us.
Sure.
That's all I cared about. Mm-hmm. But, you know, and that is true. But we were neglecting, you know, some very important things in our lives. And of course, I didn't realize how the communication in my marriage was not where it was supposed to be until this happened. I didn't realize we're not communicating. Obviously,
Right.
he is not comfortable with telling me this. So it was every area of our lives was suddenly being tested.
And so they told you have to leave the house in
Right.
what time did you have?
Well, we figured we had about 3 months, but a lot of my husband's customers were almost an hour away from where we lived. And so he wanted to just go ahead and move. Mm-hmm. And so there was a couple in a church we ended up attending an hour away that said, hey, we're leaving town and we have this house available. So we did end up renting from that point on. It's very difficult to rent, though, because once your credit
Right,
is bad,
right.
you know, it's really hard to find a place to live.
Isn't it amazing how the dumbest, the stupidest, the worst things that we do to ourselves, and God will still be there.
He's
He'll
such a
still be
father.
there. You
It's
go
so
like,
true.
Okay, come on, y'all can stay here, but I'm going to punish you. You punish yourself. You really, when people say he's
Yes.
punishing me, well, what did you do to get that
Right.
place?
You know, he is our father.
That's right.
And, you know, we talk a lot about grace, and the grace of God is powerful.
Right.
He wants to grow us. He wants to
Yes.
mature us. You know, I had a lot of dreams. I wanted to sing. I wanted to do all these things. I wanted my family to be in ministry, not just me or my husband or, you know, everybody. And we have all these dreams, but we have to take life in the journey that God has for us. We have to mature.
Right.
And that was very important. And I didn't realize it at the time. I just thought, by faith, we're going to get through this. And no, yes, we are going to get through it, but it's going to be on his timetable.
Right. Yeah, because you wish, like, God, this, I've learned my lesson. Could you just speed up this recovery process?
I'm
and
real
adjust that?
sorry.
Yeah, but-
You know, I'm real sorry
You
for
know.
running that debit card and not knowing what was in the bank account. I'm sorry, Jesus.
And I know you may have heard this before, but I promise it's not a broken record.
Right. I'll never do it again. Never.
Yeah.
You
Can't
may
understand
have
why you
said,
listen.
but is the business you were in, what was it?
Right. It was a computer business. My husband, writes software and he fixes computers. And
Okay.
he was tired of being in corporate settings and he wanted to branch out on his own. And so he did. And I kind of just supported. Actually, I became his secretary, and within 6 months, fired myself. I mean,
Oh, my
it was
Really?
good.
You just-
Yeah, we just
We're taking too many
it
breaks.
was not working, right? I mean, this is not working. But yeah, so what would happen is people didn't always want to pay on time. So he was great at what he did, and we had a lot of customers.
Right.
But they didn't, when it came to utilities for a small business owner and the computer guy, a lot of times the utilities got precedence.
Oh
I
man, and
imagine.
having to deal with people that won't pay on time. How could
Mm.
that possibly be?
Yes.
That how that works. But your family gets you go and you're living in someone else's home
Right.
and trying to survive, get through that, and then as that happened, as you're tested and all, and so y'all never had an argument. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that you
Oh,
never had an
Lordy.
argument? You didn't have problems like that.
Whew. When you are believing God suddenly for every meal that's put on the table, and, even if there's going to be, the rent is going to be paid. I mean, yes, it causes a lot of stress in the marriage. Everything, every part of our being was tested. You always think, what if? What if we hadn't have done this? Well, it's too
Right.
late. You're in the middle
That's
of it.
right.
Leave
that's
it
right.
alone.
And you were questioning, and the kids were saying, "Oh, you guys, come on, get over it."
Oh.
Were they having to be to listen to all this, and you just
man.
said, "Let's talk about this in the other room," or did everybody was involved in what was going on?
I think the biggest part for the kids is when you're at the grocery store and they're wanting all the extras.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And John will share some of those experiences in the grocery store.
We will.
Because,
We will
he
get.
was like,
Yes, we are, because we're coming down to the end of the segment. And we're going to have John on, but then when you come back, I want you to talk about when NBC reads the book and decides to do a reality show on NBC called Mr. Mom, and we're going to talk about that. But next, we're going to have John, her son, and see how all these things do not have to make a child run out and do drugs and murder someone. Okay.
Amen.
Okay, so that's what we're going to find out as soon as we come back from this little bit of time we're going to take away from you and listen to some messages. Are you ready to kill me? Okay, cut me off. Ready? And here we go. You're listening to the Mark and Cindy Show. Richard's going, shut up.
Is there?
I'm Lauren Maddox for Lone Star College System. Discover all that Lone Star College Montgomery offers at Maverick Mania Open House, coming to Lone Star College Montgomery on Tuesday, April 1st from 4:30 to 7 p.m. Take a campus tour, visit with representatives from every academic program, and get your admissions and financial aid questions answered. There will even be information on the academic and workforce programs offered at Lone Star College Conroe Center. Those who pre-register online and then attend the event will be eligible for a prize drawing for free tuition for the fall semester. So plan now to attend Maverick Mania at Lone Star College Montgomery on Tuesday, April 1st. All the details are online at lonestar.edu/openhouse-Montgomery. I'm Lauren Maddox for Lone Star College System.
Since the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo awarded its first scholarship, we have sent nearly 15,000 students to college on show scholarships. Just this year, 2,000 students are attending more than 100 Texas colleges and universities on show scholarships worth nearly $30 million. Combined with the junior market auction money, livestock and horse show premiums and prizes, cat scramble awards, school art auction money, judge and contest prizes, grants to universities, and funds to cultural, community, and civic organizations, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo has committed more than $350 million to youth and education throughout Texas. Learn more at rodeohouston.com.
Hello, I'm Bonita DeRosa, Animal Control Officer for the City of Willis. We invite you to tune in to Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. for the Willis Hour. On the first Thursday of the month, the Willis Hour will be covering upcoming events and news about the city. Join in the conversation with your city officials and other leaders in the community. On the 3rd, we will be doing a recap of the last City Council meeting. The mission of the City of Willis is to provide high-quality services, accountability, and professional commitment to our citizens. We pledge to provide those who live, work, and visit our city an effective government that is open and responsive to the needs and values of the community. Again, we invite you to tune in on Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 for the Willis Hour.
My fault I fear. I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry.
And you're back with the Mark and Cindy show, but right now, and Leo has come up to the window to sing a bit of the. There you are. We brought in the clown, Leo. Okay, thank you. I'm not talking to you, Leo. You won't put up a poster up. Oh, and the policeman.
Oh my God. Officer Taylor, can we get this woman out of here?
Yeah.
She's been bothering.
There's
another
Rodney.
one. There's another one.
You just look, he's putting handcuffs on her. I love this officer. He's so good. He plays along, and there he's dragging her off. Oh, no, wait. We were kidding.
We need her.
She
I
provides
was kidding
coffee.
about, the
drug
thing.
dealing. That's
I was
it.
kidding about it.
You
I
shouldn't have
was
said that.
kidding.
Shame on you. Okay, Mark's going out there to try and take care of it. Okay. Somebody's going to jail. I know it.
Watch it be Mark.
Yeah, watch it be Mark. Okay, we are back with Rena Beadle, and with her son, John Beadle. And
there you go.
yes, yeah, thank you.
Beadle and Beadle.
John is her oldest son, and we're going to talk to him about how the bankruptcy. If you're just joining us, Rena and her family went through a pretty horrific bankruptcy, lost everything, had to start over again, and then through all that, what happens to a marriage, and then how the children are affected, and that's what I'd like to talk about to John right now. John,
right.
During those times, were they the darkest times? Did you understand what was going on, or is just like, oh, Mom, Dad, get over it?
Well, first, it's good to be here.
Thank you.
There you go.
And to be in your presence, and no, it was. I guess I was about 12 years old whenever that really happened. So this has been a while. I'm 25 now. Well, I was about 12, right? Yeah, I was about 12. So it's outside of being told you can't ask for candy bars at Kroger. You don't really get the sense that you're. I didn't really know the depth of what was really going on until I read the book. So
really?
Yeah, it wasn't until there were a lot of conversations that my parents had. A lot of breakdowns in regards to money and things with the mortgage and stuff at the house. I had no idea. So a lot of us were really we didn't really know the darkness of the moment and the things that really precipitated the bankruptcy, but we weren't really a part of it. We just had fun. We were kids in the country, and we were just crazy, running around naked all the time. So it was great.
There you go. Now, see, let me write that
what
down
I'm
as
talking
one
about.
of the. That's the way to get through it. Your mother is looking at you like, why in the world would you say that?
There's a place I know you can hold a sign and flip it around. They might.
That's what I was doing before this. That's why I wasn't on the first part of the segment.
He was out there using the Mark and Cindy show.
I was spinning the sign.
But I'm sure that as you read the book, you must have had this revelation like, oh my word, this was all going on.
It definitely filled in the gaps for me. There were definitely some questions that I had going, okay, where was I when this happened, and what part did I play a role in this?
Was it my fault?
Was it my fault?
That's right.
And so when I read the book, it really moved me. It rocked me. I was kind of afraid to read it at first, but then I was like, well, I wrote in it, so I should probably read it.
That's right. You wrote some of the passages in it, or was it a chapter, or how much did you write in it?
Yeah, I just wrote like part of a chapter. I think there was one or two chapters where a few of us would take maybe just 2,000 words and just fill in some space there on our own experiences and stuff
about
like
what was
that.
going on.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I've never seen that in a book before.
Yes.
I mostly listen to books, so that's why I haven't seen it in books. But I think that's an unusual interjection for a child to make into this, and they're not aware of everything that's going around them, and find out by reading the book. So after you read the book and you realized what all had gone on, what response did you have to it?
I think just humility. You understand what your parents like. I understood what my parents went through in a greater dimension. I really felt like I could empathize with what they were, the things they had to sacrifice for us and everything. And so, the impact that it had on me was just really just honor and respect to the parents. Because when I was a kid, when you don't really know this is not really communicated to you. There was a tendency to kind of judge and to get really upset and want to be rebellious and all this stuff. But
now, did you go through that rebellious stage?
Yeah, I did.
You
I
did.
did.
You did.
A little bit,
John,
just a little bit.
Okay.
Not too bad, just a little
All right.
rebellion.
Well, I guess not too bad because he came out of it and now he's doing mission work.
All
And
right.
so, and tell us about the mission work that you're doing right now.
Right. So about 3 years ago, I was on staff at a large church. I thought, this is it. This is the epitome
Pinnacle.
of Christianity.
Yes.
I have a corner office, and I'm scheduling musicians to do things for worship stuff on weekends. So, but I was frustrated. I was just so absolutely just frustrated every day, and nobody there could really tell me why. And then one day I woke up and the Lord just kind of just spoke to me and just said, "Today's the day you go back to school." Went back to school that day. Got re-enrolled. A week later, classes started right here at the community college. And not long after that, the Lord just kind of began to break my heart because I just realized something I never realized before, which is I loved hanging out with pagans and lost people.
You do.
I love it.
That's
love
how
it.
I feel.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here today.
Exactly. I know. We're praying for him.
We're praying for Mark.
We're
Mark
having
is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
good.
outside. He can't handle God.
Make sure he's on that list. Make sure he's on that list. Okay.
Yeah, this is really
That's
an
good.
outreach
Yes,
episode.
it is.
Yeah. This is really for him.
Great. It's an intervention, and Mark didn't know it. Okay, Mark, here we are. And no, but so who are you working with right now?
Right.
What group are you
So,
working
well, I was a student at the time at this college, and so I just had all these dreams of things that I would love to see happen on the campus, and I had some friends who were involved, and I had a Bible study of about 20 kids, and I grew it to about 10, and then 8 and 6, and then it just kept shrinking.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I must be a terrible Bible study teacher or whatever. And not long after that, the Lord began to put different ideas in our heart, what we really felt like He wanted us to do. And so after that semester was over and I had time to basically reflect on my call in life, if I was even supposed to be preach the gospel at all, because I was really discouraged, decided, you know what, just held on to what the Lord had shown us through prayer times and what He had spoken to us about what He wanted to see happen. And so I just began to read stuff about old revivalists. Like I began to read about guys like Charles Finney, George Whitefield, Jonathan Edwards,
Wow.
John Wesley.
You did some deep research.
Yeah. Just guys who had really seen great moves of God happen, where not just like little groups that just love Jesus come together, but I'm talking, 25,000 people in a field hearing George Whitefield speak in the 18th century America. There's no megaphone and everybody can hear him, and loads of people getting healed and saved and that kind of stuff delivered. So I began to go, okay, what's the pattern here? And so I decided I was done trying to play a game that I felt like everybody else was. So I just started doing open air preaching, and in the free speech area of the college about 3 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So
I've never
just-
talked to somebody that
There you
did
go.
that. So that's
well,
good.
yeah, because most people see it, they associate open air preaching with a guy holding a sign with all the sins listed.
Yes, that they've done. Yeah.
That's happening
guilt
in the world.
fest.
A guilt
Yes.
fest. It's like big bold print. It says repent, and then it's like repent if you're and it goes through the list of sins, and then eventually you see a weird one in there, like if you're a Democrat, repent. Like what? Like. What?
And then John 3:16 right after.
Yeah, John
Okay.
3:16. You can go to heaven and avoid
That's
hell. You're welcome, kind of thing.
That's right.
And so I just didn't want to do that, but I felt like there was something that really God was on. Projecting this love out in the open into the fire into the streets. So we just started doing that, and it grew from. It started by word of mouth at 20. I became the president of the Christian club on campus overnight because they didn't have a leader. It wasn't like I went in with my own vision.
Right.
They just didn't have a leader there. And so I went to the administration and says, I'll do this. And they're like, cool, you're the guy. You're the only guy that's come up to us about it. So you get to be the guy that does it. And we grew from 20 to 100 in about a month and a half.
That's great.
And we've been pretty much growing ever since. But since this is a commuter college, it's kind of a revolving door. So what we've probably seen at least a few thousand, I would say, that have come through and been impacted.
That is wonderful.
It's amazing.
When I look back at all those the tent revivals and the people that would fill up the, and you're thinking, oh, it's just because they don't have cable yet, but it's that people get hungry again for these things, and they've seen everything that's going to be on TV, and there's nothing new, and we still don't know where that Malaysian airline is. So people will start coming like, okay, I need to come and hear something that may make a difference in my life and my eternity. So let me try this out.
Yeah,
I think that's great that you did that.
And the main thing is what we try to tell people is like, we don't want you to think that somehow Jesus came so that you could just go to heaven one day and just, every day you get up, you punch the time card on however many years you have left. You just hold on for the sweet by and by and just wait for Jesus to return and deliver us from the government.
That's right.
My thing is, Jesus, when a Jew is talking about, heaven, he's not talking about it in a sense of a place where he's going. They had no concept of that. That's why when Jesus, waltzed in on the donkey, and they're saying Hosanna, they're saying save us, deliver us from this current physical present oppression from the Roman government. Right. And that's because to God, his heaven's where he's at, right? So when they ask what's eternal life look like, when like the Apostle John wrote about eternity, and the other Gospels don't really say the word eternal life that often. They say kingdom. They're the same thing. John, when he says eternal life, he really means the kingdom of God, and he's talking about the reality of God in the here and the now, not just in the future.
Right.
That God wants to tabernacle with us. That's what we see. I don't know. That's what my conviction was, and this is where everything shifted for me, was that I was done trying to just help people like get somewhere, and I wanted to kind of bring something. I felt like I wanted to help people just, discover God right where they were.
Right. That's great. And, preach it, brother.
Come on.
All right, come on, brother.
I feel it.
Now, you've got to be proud, Rena. Now, you can come up to the mic. Mark is sitting this one out because there went another chair.
Repenting.
He's repented.
He's repenting.
And so he'll be right back with us, though. Believe me. But anyway, so in 2005, NBC has read this book. They want to do a reality show about it called Mr. Mom. Is that correct? That's what's happening?
Actually, we did the show before I wrote the book.
Okay.
And so, yes, I ended up working for a newspaper, community newspaper in Houston, and there was a press release from NBC, and the reporters actually came to me and said, NBC has sent this press release. You are the people they're looking for, because it's they said at first it was America's busiest family. Yeah.
Ah, okay. And then they ended up calling it Mr. Mom?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Well, they knew they were going to, but they're very sneaky, because they don't want the press to learn too much before it's time.
Well, sure. Then nobody does leaks. So anyway, but it started in 2005.
Right.
Was it just one special, or was it a series of
Actually,
it was a season.
It was a season.
It was
seven. I believe there was 7 episodes, but it was just one episode for us. We competed against a family with 5 girls, and at this time we had already moved to Houston, and we were living in an apartment, all 7 of us at the time.
So it was a competition.
It was a competition,
and you didn't win this competition?
Yes, we did.
You did win it. Okay, I love the winners. I'd hate to have to call a family of 5 girls where you're here. And you won
Right. It was a nice experience.
Thanks. The Biggest Loser's great.
Right. That's so fun.
No, that's so awesome. But people can go to a website and read about the story and all that's going on, and they can get involved, right?
Absolutely. You can go to www.stayinthegameministries.com. That's our formal website. You can also go on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Stay in the Game Ministries. And the book is on Amazon. You can also get an ebook.
Oh, great.
Absolutely. So you can just download it, and it's just a great testimony of God's faithfulness. How I designed the book was every chapter begins and ends with a scene from the show. So I give a lot of details.
Oh, great. Okay, that's wonderful. We may have to have you back on and talk some more about this and things that are going on. But Rena and John, thank you so much. And I know all the families out there listening, so we're going to do you got a great mom and brother that's coming back to you. Oh, I hope this hasn't done anything to your head and caused any kind of feeling like you're better than you are. I mean, I just want to make sure that we've only done things to humble you here.
Well,
right?
Yes.
You feel the
we love it. We love it.
No, we're so I want to come hear you speak out on the campus
Come on.
sometime.
Come
Okay,
today.
that's going to be fun. Anyway, you're listening to the Mark and Cindy Show, and we've been honored to have Rena and John Beadle with us today. And we're going to be having our encouraging word from Mark coming right up after this.
Hi, I'm Joyce with the Corner Pub in downtown Conroe. We're located at the corner of Simonton and North Main, just across the street from the courthouse. The week starts off Monday with open mic hosted by Alan, and Tuesday nights open mic hosted by Jeremy Bankhead. And on Thursday evening, McFarland Jams. There's nightly drink specials available every night, all night. And don't forget, live entertainment every weekend. To see a full list of events, visit our website at thecornerpubinconroe.com. So come join us at the Corner Pub, where the deli is open late.
Hi, I'm Tina, and I will be your host for a new program on Lone Star Internet Radio. I call it Retro Saturdays. Every Saturday at 5 p.m., I will be playing music from the 1930s to the 1970s. I will play a different genre of music every weekend of the month. You will hear big band music, jazz, 70s classic rock, and 60s oldies. Join us for Retro Saturdays at 5 p.m. every Saturday of the month. Go to irlonestar.com for more information on Retro Saturdays on Lone Star Internet Radio.
Hey y'all, Montgomery County Emergency Assistance is presenting their first annual Don't Mess with Texas Women Concealed Handgun class on Saturday, April 12th at the Conroe Shooting Center, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's limited to 30 participants. It's just $100, with all proceeds benefiting Montgomery County Emergency Assistance. Register online at mcea-tx.org. Bring your gun and let's have some fun. Don't Mess with Texas Women Concealed Handgun class, April 12, 2014, and all proceeds benefit Montgomery County Emergency Assistance.
My fault I feel. I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry, my dear.
Wow. Oh, wow. She's just amazing.
You're welcome.
It just makes me want to cry.
You're welcome.
Cindy, how many people have we told guests that, we've got to have you back?
Pretty much every single one.
Just every one.
I think this time we meant it, though.
I do. You know what? And I
know
told
what
Rena
you
this. Reality show. I don't know anyone who's been on one. And now we've got two people here, and I just want a little bit of the background and all, and how they do stuff like this. I'm sure our listeners do too. So we will have Rena back. And by the way, tomorrow, two people. You're going to do an interview,
Wow.
phone interview with.
Yes, Deborah Norwinski.
What's her snap?
Norwinski.
Yes, and Don Hampton.
Beetle. There's the Beetle.
Norwinski.
And we're having Don
Deborah
Hampton,
Nowinski.
director of.
Heck yeah.
What's the name of the play I'm in tonight?
Inherit the Wind.
Yes.
Isn't it Gypsies
and
or something like that?
Oh, that's
or
coming up.
Cabaret. You're in Cabaret, right?
We have to say this, that Mark is one of the stars, the stars of the play that's going to be happening at the Owen Theater starting this weekend. And if you don't have tickets, you better hurry up. Is it sold out already?
No.
Am I telling
Tonight,
you? Okay.
by the way, it's free. It's family
tonight-
night, and you're all part of my family.
Are you sure they meant for you to say that to everybody?
I think
like
so.
publicly?
Well,
Okay.
Don said it's fine. He
You're
wants
fired.
it packed tonight because the reaction is important.
Yes, yeah. So tonight they're going to have a dress rehearsal for people that love them anyway.
Exactly,
And-
regardless.
And so, and we'll be
Cindy's
encouraging.
going to be there.
Bring
and
your
it's
rotten
good.
tomatoes.
And I'm going to be
that's
there, and
it.
I'm bringing the grandchildren. So you better be good and no saying bad words. You know,
well,
I'll
again,
have to
talk
do it
to
to
them.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, encouraging words. And this one goes almost hand in hand with what Rena and John were talking about. I was reading this morning, and I don't know, it's another one of those lines that just spoke to me, and let me go ahead and read it to you. It's from Oswald Chambers, and this is March the 19th, by the way, which is today, Wednesday. He said, one of the biggest snares to faith is the idea that God is sure to lead us to success. The life of faith is not a life of mounting up with wings, but a life of walking and not fainting. That is, the Puritans, they came over here from Europe largely because of, persecution over there.
Yes.
And their philosophy was, if something's bad happened to you, God doesn't like you. Kind of like, Job's friends, something, if you had straightened up.
Right.
And that is still pretty much a philosophy that goes around today, whether
People
we like
still
to
feel
say it
that
or
way.
not.
That's right.
If you lost your job, send some money here, and
What have you done?
God will do that. And you know what that does to God? It can't help but do this, and that is make people gravitate towards him, not so much out of love, but I need something. When someone wins the lottery or a big famous person comes to town, they get friends that they've never known before. They see folks coming out of the woodwork, and it's not because, I love this guy. It's because, wow, I can get something. To me, I was trying to think of an analogy, and this is a very poor one, but imagine yourself in a situation where someone is mugging you. There are several people, and they're going to really kill you, and all of a sudden this homeless guy stands up and saves your life and dies doing it. He's got nothing now for me, but my love for him, why did you do that?
That's right. I'm not worthy.
Right. And that is the relationship, I believe, that God would like with us, his son. Here, a God on earth is here, and I'm dying for you. Can you appreciate that? My life is, I didn't get this. My success is down the flusher. And that's not what it's, God's saying, here's what a success is. And it's like we were talking about yesterday, Cindy. It's I'm in control, and I've got what's happening to you right here. And I wish you would quit, wondering, you wanted this. I didn't want that for you. It's no good for you right now.
That's right.
And maybe it's no good for somebody. Maybe it is good for you, Mark, but it's going to hurt these people. I do not know. But like Chambers said, it's not, wow, give me success. It's living a life and walking and not fainting. That's, I'm with you, Father, in this, and I know you're with me, and that's hard to do. And once again, Cindy, I've mentioned this so much. I'm naive about a lot of the problems people have because I've been sheltered just about all my life. Great mom and dad, and there were 7 of us, and yes, we were not the richest of people around, but I had a mom at home all the time, and
that's right.
I haven't experienced
you
a lot of what
rich.
people do.
You were very rich.
And they were, went to church, and I did not like going to church, but I go now, and
that's
I like
right.
it.
And you like it now. That's like a mom and dad see their children doing things, and they know this is going to be bad for you. I can't let you do it. And the kids are so mad, like, why can't I do this? But then they get older and they look back and go like, oh yeah. So at 65, I go like, God, you are so smart. I can't believe how smart you are.
And looking at Rena and John, it's like we were talking to them when we weren't on, is the fact that, yes, that was low point. That's, well, not exactly suicide time, but I've thought of that myself in time when I was really down. But now, God's plan, here we are. And I'm using you. And I couldn't have used you without that experience. I mean, I could use you in other ways, but I need that experience for you so you can go out and do
So that's why you stay in the
things.
game.
Yeah.
Because, you're going to round home pretty soon.
And hopefully y'all will stay with us. I get it. It's the baseball analogy. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, a great guest again. And I would like to thank, again, Rena and John Beadle. And thank Cindy for doing a great job interviewing. What a lady she is. I'm just proud and to be a part of this Mark and Cindy thing.
Thank you, Mark. You're so sweet. And remember, God loves you more than we do, and God's got this.
What's going on in town? You never know who's gonna come around on the Mark and Cindy show. It's Mark and Cindy on the radio, 10 to 11 a.m.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.